Hello, it's been a while. Um, I just, there's so much to catch up on, but just today, something interesting happened that I thought I'd share with y'all. Um, as I think I've mentioned before, Jason lives for uh, his weekly trip to Walmart and then lunch at In-N-Out. That's just one of the things that we do. And um, we've been doing this now, for quite a few months. And every time we go, of course, as soon as we get there, because it's the same time of day basically, he needs to use a restroom. So we go to the back of the store, which is where there's the family restroom. It's just the most convenient and obviously the most appropriate place for me to take him, just to avoid any issues or problems. But anyway, but when we go back there, every single time they're cleaning, which that's their schedule, I need to avoid that time. But what happens is they're cleaning the regular women's restroom and the men's. Sometimes they're cleaning the family restroom. So if I get there at a certain time and they're cleaning the family restroom, then I have to take him in the women's restroom to the handicap stall, which is it's fine. I usually try to wait till there's not many women in there. I have him just kind of be patient. And sometimes people say, "Oh, that's the men's," and I have to say, "I know he just needs me to be with him. He's disabled," and I just leave it at that. And no one's ever really given me any problems or nothing like that's happened. But what has happened over and over is if they're not cleaning the family restroom, the door is usually locked. Somebody's in there, and the 3 times that I've waited until the person came out or went ahead and used the regular women's restroom with him and then came back out and see somebody come out, it's always been employees because that restroom is right next to the employee door in the back room. So I guess if I were an employee, that'd be a nice private convenient bathroom, especially if I wanted to just take a break away from everybody and use my phone or something. I don't know because the women's restroom is right there 10 feet away, and it's rarely full. Because then what happens too is sometimes if I want to take him into the women's restroom, there's someone also in the handicap stall. And the couple of times that that's happened, the person who walks out again is an employee. So the dilemma is, of course, I have my disabled son who needs to go to the bathroom right now, and I have to try to explain to him why he has to wait. And it's one thing to wait your turn for a customer or for, someone like us who's there as a customer, as a patron. It's a whole other thing when you have to wait because it's an employee, when there's a whole bathroom full of stalls 10 feet away. Or when instead of the handicap stall, maybe you should use the regular stall so that we have an alternative. So anyway, I know the world can't revolve around us and our needs, but there are simple things that I feel are just common sense. Today, we happened to be there. There was a woman with her daughter, her disabled daughter, and she was knocking on the door and then waiting, and no one was coming out. And I was going to wait for her to go and then take Jason. Well, she finally smiled at me and shook her head, and she went to the women's restroom. She thought they were cleaning it, so that's why she didn't go in there at first. And then she took her daughter in there. She came out, several people came out. We were still waiting for the person in the family restroom to come out. No one ever came out. So I said, you know what? Whatever. I just took him into the women's restroom, figured I'd just go to the handicap stall. There was someone in there, and it was not someone who needed to be in that stall. So I had to put him in a regular one, and I have to hold the door, not close the door, because if I let him lock the door, he sometimes forgets how to undo it. Plus the fact he doesn't just do his business and get out. He plays around and does stuff in there. So it's like I have to hold the door, I have to stand there. I have to, pound him on the back to get him to stop. Okay, you're done. Let's go. It's a whole thing people don't realize. And I know that's the whole point. They don't realize. But just, this is sounding like a rant, but it's more of just a piece of a plea for awareness, I guess. A plea for awareness. Just know that while you may think no one ever uses these bathrooms, no one needs it, well, let me tell you, Walmart folks, people like me and the other lady that was there today with, at the same time, sometimes this is the highlight of our day, and we tend to go in the mornings when it's not as crowded. So you may think, nobody ever goes in there. It's not true. Because I'm there every single week, usually on a Wednesday in the morning, because then we go to lunch afterward. And it's the small little thing that he gets consistently right now, And so I'm just asking for people to be a little more considerate, a little more aware. And I did talk to the manager today. I didn't want to be one of those people, But I told her I understand they don't know that we're out there waiting. She said, well, they should not be using that restroom. So she said she'd send an email out to all the managers to remind their staff use the regular regular women's restroom. Anyway, rant over. Sorry. I will be catching you up, though. I'm working on the graph for the behavior chart that I finished. So I'll put up another video probably later in the week. That'll give you the results of that and kind of explain how I put that together. Because he does have an appointment with his psychiatrist next week or in 2 weeks. And I'm going to send it to him ahead of time so he can look it over. So we'll see if he really does look at his email, because when I meet with him, if he hasn't seen the chart, that'll tell me a lot about what I'm already guessing, because the communication with the supposed behavior health department is not they're not really communicating well. So it's like they just kind of do their job and hope that they don't get phone calls or emails from us, I guess. Anyway, all right, enough of the negative. I'm sorry. I will put a video together with all those results. But thanks for listening to my rant, and help spread the word that people need to be aware. There are reasons why there's a separate bathroom, mainly for moms like me with a 6-foot-tall disabled son that is really awkward to try to take into the regular women's restroom. So I really rely on those family bathrooms. Just saying. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.